When it hits the battlefield in a few short years, the Ghostrider will be the most heavily armed gunship in history. A badass plane providing close air support to U.S. troops on the ground and delivering withering firepower that will send enemies running for the hills. When ground troops call for close air support, the Ghostrider and its deadly arsenal could come to their rescue. The AC-130J Ghostrider is set to be the most heavily armed gunship in history, bristling with 30mm and 105mm cannons, AGM-176A Griffin missiles, and the ability to carry Hellfire missiles and GBU-39 small-diameter bombs. But that's not all. The Ghostrider could even be equipped with a high-energy laser. Historically speaking, the AC-130 gunship is a modern aircraft. Although 6 decades have passed since its initial development, it continues to serve the nation and is a testament to modern technological advancement in avionic and defense technology. The AC-130J is the 5th generation gunship, replacing the aging fleet of AC-130s. The first test flight of the AC-130J Ghostrider was completed in January 2014, and it will be loitering above the battlefield wherever Americans are fighting for decades to come. These gunships have a long combat history dating back to Vietnam, where they destroyed more than 10,000 trucks and performed many life-saving missions, according to the Air Force. The AC-130J Ghostrider's primary missions are close air support, air interdiction, and armed reconnaissance. Close air support missions include troops in contact, convoy escort, and point air defense. Air interdiction missions are conducted against pre-planned targets or targets of opportunity and include strike coordination and reconnaissance and overwatch mission sets. The AC-130J provides ground forces an expeditionary, direct-fire platform that is persistent, ideally suited for urban operations, and delivers precision, low-yield munitions against ground targets. With how many upgrades are still lined up for the Ghostrider to receive, it's entirely plausible to expect that this gunship will still be in service for a few more years. Additionally, the Ghostrider is equipped with advanced sensors and navigation equipment, including a LiDAR sensor and a synthetic aperture radar, which allows it to detect and track targets in various weather conditions. The aircraft also has an enhanced communication suite and improved survivability features that increase its operational capabilities. The airplane and its predecessors have exceeded all our expectations and kept more Americans alive than any other airplane on the battlefield, Lieutenant General Jim Slife said. A bomb truck with guns. A Ghostrider is a Lockheed C-130J that's been heavily modified until it practically bristles with weaponry. So much so that Lieutenant General Bradley Heathold, former head of Air Force Special Operations Command, famously called it a bomb truck with guns and the ultimate battle plane in 2015. Walking through the cargo bay of the 130J, the sheer amount of firepower on display quickly becomes apparent. After leaving the cockpit, one first encounters the Block 10 30mm cannon, an automatic weapon that can fire up to 200 rounds per minute, each roughly the size of a Coca-Cola bottle, out of the left side of the plane. The 30mm brings a lot of flexibility to the Ghostrider's crew. Not only is it trainable, making it easier to aim at a target without having to reorient the entire plane, but its ammunition feeds in from 2 different chains. This can give the Ghostrider plenty more of one kind of ammo to shoot, but it can also allow airmen to quickly switch to a second kind of ammunition if they need to take out a different threat. Toward the aft end of the plane, also aiming left, is the Block 20 105mm cannon. The Ghostrider originally wasn't meant to have the 105mm, which was also mounted on the older AC-130 used Spooky model, but Heithold insisted on adding it, telling reporters last year, "I want 2 guns." The 105mm cannon shoots rounds that weigh 50 pounds apiece, with more than 32 pounds of explosive, and are about 2.5 to 3 feet long. To illustrate what kind of boom it delivers, some of the Army's howitzers also fire 105mm shells. It's literally an artillery weapon that shoots down from the sky instead of up from the ground. The AC-130J will carry 80 105mm rounds and can fire more than 10 rounds a minute, and the plane's crew can also use the controls to aim it at targets. The AGM-176A Griffin missiles are the centerpiece of the Ghostrider's precision strike package, and part of what makes it truly stand above its predecessors. The plane carries 10 Griffins, which are essentially half-scale Hellfire missiles that are laser-guided, with a fragmentation warhead and a GPS backup to ensure it lands on targets. Each Griffin stands nose up in a roughly 4-foot-tall tube mounted in its tail. When it's time to fire, the Griffin is electrically launched out of the back of the plane, pops out its fins, and orients itself into the wind stream. When it's far enough away, its rocket motor fires and it goes screaming off past the plane. But there's more than just its weaponry that makes the Ghostrider remarkable. It's lighter, faster, and more efficient, and burns 25 to 30% less gas than legacy aircraft. It flies at a top speed of about 362 knots, or 416 miles per hour, well above the roughly 300 miles per hour top speed of the AC-130U. The AC-130J can fly a maximum range of 3,000 miles and up to 28,000 feet in the air, about twice as far and roughly 3,000 feet higher than the AC-130U.